Catholic Charities continue serving their night service. Here, what you see are the 600 beds that are offered year-round for men to come and have a place to sleep. The bumper is left out in the road, as we see here. The key is to get all your documents together before the deadline. 70% have voted towards medical marijuana, but the bill is put on hold. 3 out of the 5 men staff were sent here at the University Medical Center, where one was pronounced dead after having an argument over a cell phone. Nevada's unemployment rate has dropped to its lowest point since 2008, yet there are over 100,000 residents who still don't have a job. Before applying for the job, turn in a resume to prove companies you have what it takes. Here you go. For Studio G, I'm Fabiola Marzano.
Makes me more protected.
Dry is the name this marijuana smoker wants to use to protect his identity. For several years, Dry has taken marijuana illegally to stop his body pain, stomachache, and headaches.
I'm going to try it.
City Council Bob Coffin is a supporter of medical marijuana, but also says he needs it for his back pain.
Because right now I use painkillers to subdue the pain in my back. But those are addictive, highly addictive, and they're damaging to the liver. And I would prefer to be using something that wasn't so destructive to my body.
Not only medical marijuana will help with Coffin's back, but Dr. Andraki says it would help with glaucoma, chemotherapy, and other illnesses. Yet with symptoms such as pain, anxiety, and eating disorders, Dr. Andraki says it needs further studies to determine whether this drug is benefiting patients.
We look for proof. We look for clinical studies. The studies have not been done for medical marijuana, unfortunately.
According to City Councilman Bob Coffin, 70% have voted towards medical marijuana. But the bill is put on hold and dispensaries cannot move forward until they have an answer sometime this fall. City Council Starvos Anthony spoke to Studio G last week. He feels medical marijuana is not for Las Vegas.
I can't in good conscience vote to approve something that is supposedly medicine that is not medicine. It's actually dangerous. And part of it has to do with my police background, law enforcement in 29 years, and I've just seen marijuana just destroy people's families.
But as for Dry, he's hoping medical marijuana can be legalized in Las Vegas.
And you think the marijuana is something that's really gonna go somewhere?
Yes, because the plant is just natural and then it's not tainted with other chemicals.
Procrastinators may be penalized if they're not granted an extension, but thankfully tax preparation businesses such as Liberty Tax are working overtime to help those procrastinators file on time. Driving around Las Vegas Valley, you are bound to see someone dressed as the Statue of Liberty. These folks standing at a corner of the street holding a sign are reminding you that tax time is very near. Liberty Tax says the number of 36 customers a day has increased, but for procrastinators, filing their tax return a day before is not as bad as people may think.
I'm always on time. I always get it in on time.
Regardless.
Oh, sure. At the last minute.
I suggest, you guys shouldn't really procrastinate because it's really important not to owe the IRS anything. It's like no one likes to owe anybody anything. Everyone likes a clean slate and to start new, and it gives you a whole new year just to work and just make some money for your family, and you could get a nice car or something and just do good for your family.
You better not be in no kind of system. Get your hell out of the system. That's what I've learned from it. You know, exclude yourself from the system. You got to get out of the system first. As long as you're in the system, you got to pay. It's that simple.
The deadline is Tuesday, so for those who haven't looked over their paperwork and haven't prepared anything,
the penalties are anywhere from $500 for not filing, and on top of that, the interest that you would owe.
Liberty Tax Services are working extra hours to get everyone filed in.
The general one is the W-2 or any 1099s from work.
Tax specialist Munguia recommends students to bring their 1098-T, a form that shows how much tuition a student paid, which also estimates the tax return. You are better off getting all those paperworks done and out of the way. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Fabiola Marzano. Andrea is a 16-year-old who's trying to support her family, but she's battling with people twice her age to get a minimum wage job.
My brother, he's working right now, but he's going to be leaving soon, and I don't want to leave everything to my parents. I don't want everything to just fall on them.
Andrea falls into the 17% of teenagers who are unemployed in Nevada.
It's very difficult.
But May Worthy from the Nevada of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation says companies are choosy on who they hire.
Most companies, of course, they're looking to hire the best candidate possible. And if that experience is what they're particularly looking for, then yes, it may make it more difficult for a younger person who don't have that experience.
Myra Jurado is concerned whether her daughter will ever have an opportunity.
Cada lugar que va siempre le van a pedir experiencia.
At every job interview, they ask my daughter if she has experience. But how is she going to gain experience if they don't give her the opportunity to start somewhere?
But starting somewhere starts by knowing how to sell yourself to companies.
Make sure that when you go on interviews that you are dressed to impress and be able to really sell yourself on why an employer should hire you over the competition.
She knows her good grades at Southwest Career Technical Academy are not helping her get the job she wants, but with the support of her family, Andrea says she's not giving up.
It's my main goal to be able to save up and help my family and get a job.
So before applying for the job, turn in a resume to prove companies you have what it takes. Here you go. For Studio G, I'm Fabiola Marzano.